podcast ride. Buckle up, let dreams collide.
We do this despite lack of views, because we don't have anything to lose.
It's 30 weeks and our podcast.
Every episode worse than the last.
Our voices level in harmony.
Makes 1, 2,
and 3.
So, one of you guys said that you had a topic to start with for today's episode?
Well, it's not really a topic, but it's kind of something I wanted to bring up on the podcast, because I think it's actually kind of cool. Coincidence or not.
Alright, that'll be the first topic then. Go ahead, mate.
So, me and Flim were talking, like, a week ago or so, about how we ended up missing a live event for this YouTuber/animator that he likes, and, made a tweet about it. Then, like, a day later, the dude brings it back for one more time, and changes the thumbnail of the live to say, "Don't miss it this time," or whatever, and even put it as breaking news on his website. And it's probably just a coincidence or something, but Flim was all like, "Yo, what if I made that happen?" And it reminded me of something that happened to me, like, a few years ago by now. That was also probably just a coincidence, but I like to think that I had something to do with.
Yeah, you've told me that story a good few times now, and I still think that you had at least something, even if the slightest, to do with that.
Okay, so to start off, for context, a few years ago when this happened, right, Flim sent me the link to a Pinterest thing, like pin or whatever, and it was some knockoff of Flojo's roommate's design that featured an edited drawing of the art from the Twisted Part 1 title card, right? Hang on a second, actually.
Take your time, mate.
Yeah, no, I went through my downloads, and I guess I just don't have it saved anymore. But if I remember correctly, it was literally just Soda's art of the roommates from, Twisted Part 1 title card. But the background was removed, and I'm pretty sure it was edited to have one of the characters say something like, "Oh great, wear on a shirt," or whatever, which is pretty much what inspired me to get it as a shirt, right? So I saved the photo, found an online custom t-shirt place, and ordered one with the design. And somewhere down the line, I was just, casually wearing it while making a random TikTok on an old account, and I got a comment that said, "Didn't expect to see my art on a shirt," or something like that, right?
Yeah?
So, in my mind, I'm just sat there like, Soda? Or is that just someone else? Because, it was their art, and, but the crazy part is that literally a few days after that happened, I saw a YouTube post from Flojo that mentioned a new t-shirt design that he released based on the Twisted Part 1 title card. And I genuinely at the time thought that I had something in the slightest to do with that. And it's still something I think about, because, coincidence or not, that's still pretty trippy that he released that a few days after I got the comment.
Jeez, man, you two have cool coincidence stories, and I'm over here with nothing.
Oh, come on, surely something cool like that had to have happened to you, right?
I genuinely can't think of anything. No.
Should we move on to the next topic then?
But we barely talked about the first one. Aren't we trying to make this episode, an hour-long special or something, since this is the 20th episode or whatever?
The hell you mean barely? You just rambled about something for nearly 2 years ago for the last 5 minutes.
Fair point. Moving on, then.
To what? No one's said another topic yet.
Hey, I picked the first one. This one's on one of you guys.
And this is why our episodes are never more than 15 minutes long.
We could talk about our AI band.
Yeah, that works.
So, the Bulkas, huh?
No, that's not what we're talking about.
But you said the next topic was about AI bands, right? Isn't that what the Balkas was?
No. I said our AI band. The Bokas split up the band nearly a month ago now, if not longer, and you need to let it go.
I just can't believe they'd split up like that, man. I thought they was about the music. Why?
Hang on a sec. Has it already been over a month since the Boca split up and ceased being a thing?
I mean, no, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's been well over a month by now.
Damn, bro. Time really flies fast if you're not careful. I mean, we're already almost through with April? What the actual frick?
Hey, speaking of April, the Minecraft movie.
Nah, we're not talking about the Minecraft movie yet. Not all of us has seen it yet. We can talk about it when we've finally all seen it.
So, disassociate. Can I just say something about it real quick?
It'd be better than us just rambling any further. Go ahead, mate.
Okay, so, it was, real trippy hearing my own voice singing at first. That must have been what it was like for Gerardo and who not when they first heard their AI voices singing. But, hearing myself sing for the intro of our podcast at first was just,
Hey, speak for yourself, mate. Me and Kaz aren't even modeled after our voices. We got our friends to do that.
The hell kind of friends you got over in the UK that sound like a chipmunk?
Bro forgets the existence of pitch change.
I didn't. You know what? Kaz was the one to come up with the idea and get everything sorted. Why not let them take the talk and tell everyone some stuff? Or whatever.
Right. So, the quick-ish history of Disassociate is basically Flim introducing me to the website called Suno that makes music with whatever program it has, and me getting an idea to put those songs to Jammable, formerly known as Voiceify, treating them as if they were normal songs. I did this for the last song of the Bokas, creating an original song using Suno, then running it through the Bokas voices and editing it like a normal Bokas cover. Sort of like a final send-off to the band splitting up. Shortly after, I kind of thought, hey, I can't use the AI voices to make covers of songs because of copyright and whatnot, and, they get taken down. But what if I use Suno to make my own songs and keep making covers, because the songs aren't copyright then? But I didn't want to continue using the Bokas, seeing as, they're not my voices and all. So I decided to just make our own band with just us instead.
Quickish history goes off on awful tangent.
Well, I got everything out, right?
No, 'cause technically you still never explained the band's name.
Right. So, band's name is more simple than you'd think. It's basically a combination of the word dits and disassociate. Dits being a common British term, I guess you'd call it. I don't know, look it up, I guess. And disassociate, because not only does dis in the word sound like dits, but also we be disassociating every now and again. And we're just a couple of dits over here.
Yo, can you put up the album cover on screen? I'm actually quite proud of mine and how it turned out, despite me not changing it to my new art style yet.
Yeah, I got every album cover used so far, not including the ones we haven't publicly used yet on screen now.
Can one of our songs just be about derpy hooves?
Again, copyright. Needs to be original.
Then, can we make one about my all-time favorite Twitch streamer, kin_cobby with 2 Y's?
You mean the guy who hasn't gone live in nearly months now?
Dang, bro, I miss his streams. What's he doing anyways?
I believe he's either in the military or the Air Force. Can't remember which one.
Is he still doing that, though?
Look, mate, I like the guy. Doesn't mean I know everything about him.
But you know enough to know that he was at one point in the Air Force.
It was publicly mentioned for a brief moment nearly 3 years ago. Of course, I'd remember something as random as that of my ADHD brain.
To break up the convo. But, we Kinda got sidetracked here.
Can the next topic be about Twitch streamers then? Or do we need to talk more about our band?
There's not really much left to talk about unless we want to talk about the meaning of the lyrics to our songs or something.
Nah, I doubt that anyone's interested in that. Let's just talk about streamers for the next topic now.
So, how long are we at now?
Me, how should I know? This all gets voice acted and edited together in the future. What do you want me to do? Time travel?
Wait, so then, how are we supposed to make this go on for an hour then?
Keep chatting about a bunch of stuff, and if it's more than an hour, we'll edit some stuff out, and if it's less than an hour, we go back to the chat and talk about some more stuff and edit it in afterwards.
It feels weird now to say chat like that. Cause Jake voice acts all our stuff now, making us sound more human than the text-to-speech we used to use. So now it just sounds like we're saying chat while just talking casually.
Hey, speaking of that, chat, do you like the funny? Do you like watching streamers play video games? Then boy, do I have the streamer for you.
Okay, speaking of the word chat, says something completely unrelated.
No, it's related. 'Cause Twitch chat and whatnot. And also, I said chat.
Aye, fair enough then. Who's this so-called streamer that you were mentioning?
The channel name has a few emojis in it, so I might have you put it up on screen or something, Kaz. But the guy's channel is called Lil Scoot, and I originally found out about them because they used to stream themselves playing Mario Sunshine, and I'm guessing that because I watched DOA Media, another channel I like, play it a bit ago, it recommended me someone else playing it too. They mostly do old school RuneScape now, but I still quite like their streams and whatnot.
Yeah, you recommended me to them one time, and I legit watched a stream of theirs when the dude dyed their mustache neon colors for a milestone on the channel.
Thing is, though, the dude usually goes live at close to 3 a.m. for me. And I get time zones and all, but it'll be close to 3 a.m. and I'll get the notification that they went live.
It's usually 10 a.m. for me.
Of course for you it is. You gotta be all British over there and live in the UK.
I'm sorry for being born in England.
No, that's not what I meant and you know it. I'm just saying that your time zone is so different than mine that it'll be 2 a.m. for me, and you'll be set at a solid 9 a.m.
Well, there's nothing I can do about it. I didn't make the time zones like that.
Hang on. What's our next topic? Because we've just started rambling again, and I want to stop that before it gets out of hand.
Well, actually using your brain properly for once. Good job, mate.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at how often that happens with my ADHD ass. I'll start thinking of, Seinfeld, for example, right? And then it'll make me think of the theme song, which will then remind me of the vine that had the theme song in it, which that will then remind me of the one, "Look at all those chickens" vine, which will then remind me of this sticker that I got from the mall once with that vine on it, which will then remind me of this game store that's in the mall, which will finally remind me of how I'm looking to try and find Just Dance 4 for my Wii, and then I'll completely forget what I even started off thinking about.
Dang, mate. ADHD brains are just something else, huh?
You should know, your boyfriend has it. He probably does stuff like that all the time when you two hang out.
Oh, that's actually a good next topic. ADHD.
Wouldn't I be the odd one out here? Me being the only one who doesn't have it?
Nah, it's fine. So, who wanna go first?
Well, obviously not me. Like I said, I'm the odd one out here, remember?
No, yeah, but you could still talk about something to do with your boyfriend or something. Surely you've got something interesting about his ADHD to share.
Now that you mention it, actually, me and him were at his place once, and we decided to go to the arcade for a bit, yeah? and he had left his phone at home because it was nearly dead and had to charge. When we were done at the arcade and we were walking back home, this dude, just in a genuine panicked voice, goes, "We need to go back to the arcade. I think I left my phone there. It's not in my pockets." And I had to turn to him with a serious face and be like, "Dave, you don't have your phone. You left it at home to charge, remember?"
Damn, really called me out on that one.
No, cause genuinely, shit like that happens to me way more than I'd like it to. Like, I don't know if it's just a me and Flim thing, or if this is just ADHD in general, but we have the worst memory for someone our ages. And me and Flim are nearly the same age.
Bro, just make a cure for it already so we don't have to put up with stuff like that.
A cure? Come on, mate. It's not a disease, you're...
Genuinely feels like it sometimes. And Flim's the lucky one over here, in my opinion, because he just got the ADHD. I'm stuck over here cursed with the ADHD and the tism.
Okay, quick question, really quick. I get that the whole ADHD part comes from your dad having it, but where does the other part come from? You've said before that neither your mom or dad had it, so were you just unlucky or something?
Dude, I must have been. I've asked my parents before, and no one in the family ever had it. I was just the unlucky one.
Hey, try and look on the bright side of things. At least you have a quote-unquote superpower, right?
I've said this before as a joke, but I think it's true now. My superpower, or one of, is that I'm just really cracked at Scribbly.io. And I got this on video too, but someone drew part of a taco, right? Literally just a half circle sort of shape. And just by that, and the fact that it said it was a 4-letter word, I instantly guessed taco and got it right. And not just that, but I've noticed that whenever I play the game, over half of the time, I end up getting first place. And I have a screenshot of this too, because I was shocked, but I got over a 5,000 score. And I was like, oh my god, what the heck?
Damn, you know how to make that a brand for your channel or something? Just have it so you're known as the Scribbly King or whatever.
I don't think I'd go that far with it, but maybe.
Anything else? Superpowery? Like being good at art or anything?
Please, have you seen my art? Put it up on screen and tell me that I'm good at art. I'm genuinely not. If anything, Flim is the talented artist here.
Me? Your art is far better than mine.
No? Because, look at yours. Look at how cool you make the hybrid lineless style look. Tell me that that's not better than mine.
Mate, I'd just take the compliment and leave it at that.
Speaking of leave, we almost done with the episode? Or, nah, cause I'm getting kinda hungry.
Yes, I doubt that we've been chatting enough for a full hour yet. I'd give it a few more topics first.
Ooh, can the next topic be about food then?
Yeah, sure. Let's just talk about food when I'm already hungry here.
Okay, fine. You pick the topic then.
I picked the last one. Let's just let Kaz decide.
Well, going back to art, that's actually a good topic to head on. Anyone got any art tips or tricks they want to share?
Yeah, actually. Don't buy those markers from IKEA. I got them a few times to work on a project of mine, and I found that they run out rather quick.
Noted. Thanks, mate. Not like I live the nearest near an IKEA, but still noted, though.
Flim, what about you?
Oh, well, the way I do the hybrid style, that sort of this other animator Flojo does in some of his art, and who mine is sort of inspired by the way, is that I'll draw whatever as just normal lineless art in Procreate, right? And then I'll export it as a PNG image, bring it into IBIS Paint X, then I'll add the filter to my art called Stroke Outer, and adjust the line width and whatnot. Then bring it back into Procreate and finish whatever background effects I'm adding.
Oh, is that how you do that? I was always wondering if there's like an effect or something in Procreate that would let you do that. See, if I know how to draw a lineless art style and actually make it look good, I'd try that. But I've never understood how people can just perfectly do lineless like that.
Right. Anything else to say before we start to head on to the next topic?
Nah, wait, you haven't gave an art tip yet.
Mate, the last time I drew something was probably a month ago by now. I never have the time to properly take the time to draw anything these days, and have you even seen my art compared to you two? Mine is probably the worst of us three.
No, come on, I like your art style.
Wait, can that be something for this episode? Like, take our art, right? Like, each of our art, put it up on screen, and then tell everyone whose art is whose, and then let the viewers decide in the comments whose they like better.
Alright, bet. Up on screen now. Bone the comments, guys, and we'll do something with that.
We'll do something with that. Yeah, we'll add them all up, and whoever they like the least will cry.
I'm full on ready for mine to be the least liked here. Just saying is all.
Ah, yes. That's the spirit. Glad you're so confident in yourself like that.
So, guys, next topic?
Next topic. Estás?
Or what?
Huh?
You just said next topic. Are what?
Oh, okay, look. I don't rag on you for your French. Don't rag on me for my Spanish.
Has a character in their web series that can speak Spanish. Doesn't know very much Spanish.
Luckily for me, he rarely speaks much of it.
So, next topic is Spanish, then?
Français? Parlez-vous français?
Yo no hablas, lo siento. Yo hablas español, ¿y tú?
Bien, gracias, y tú?
Yo soy un rey de Mexico?
Whatever happened to that series?
What, The Crack? Or whatever it was called? I haven't seen an episode or anything to do with that in a long time. I think they just focus on villager news now or something.
I'm sorry. How did we end up talking about villager news from that?
'Cause in this other series that Element Animation used to do, one of the characters gets, like, I don't remember exactly, I think hit in the head or something, and just goes like, Yo soy un rey de Mexico. Or, like, something like that. And it's the only reason I know how to say, I am the king of Mexico, in Spanish like that.
I actually have no clue what you're talking about. Like, I've seen some of their Minecraft stuff, but, no clue what other series you're talking about, mate. Sorry.
Dude, what? I even still have this t-shirt with one of the characters on it that I bought like 5 years ago, if not longer. Here, I'll find it and send a picture of it. You can put it up on screen.
I have not watched that series in a while. I just remember the characters were like these 3 egg dudes, right? But, come to think of it, weren't 2 of the characters named Dan and Jason?
Wait, hold on. What the were they really?
I swear to Irene, I remember at least one of them being named Dan.
No, 'cause wait. You're actually messing with my mind right now. I have to go and find this out real quick. 1 second.
Dude, you just broke Jake. Gears in his brain are probably going overdrive right now.
No, you. I just looked it up, and the characters are literally Chrissy, Dan, and Jason. Get the actual hell out.
Stupid Adventures of Dan and Jason. More like Stupid Adventures of Oops, sorry.
That's not where I got the names from. I even talked about it before in the Dan and Jason SDCC panel. I got the names from characters/people I like. Not those characters, though.
Sorry, mate. Dan and Jason was just a thing before you even came up with it.
I have not watched that series since probably 2017, maybe 18. I made my series near the end of 2019. Those two characters completely slipped my mind when I made it.
Okay, but, like, wasn't Jason the chaotic one in the Cracklow? And, you know, Dan is the chaotic one in yours?
Dude, all three of us need to go back and rewatch episodes of that, I swear.
Rewatch? I haven't even watched it to begin with.
Okay, well, then we need to introduce you to that, because back then, I thought it was the funniest stuff.
Wait, dude. Remember the scene with the tank where he's all just like, oh crap, a tank, and then they just start singing the Coca-Cola Holidays song?
Dude, oh crap, a tank! Holidays are coming, holidays are coming, always Coca-Cola. The funniest thing to me back then, I swear.
Once again, the odd one out here, because I've never watched the series and have no idea what you two dits are talking about here.
It's not my fault that you had no taste back then and never watched it.
How did you even find out about it?
Okay, so, fun story about that actually. Back when I was in high school, a friend of mine showed me this Villager News animation, because I was huge into Minecraft back then. And then that was that. I eventually forgot about it. Cue to me on my phone, on YouTube, like a few months later, I get a video on my YouTube homepage that was a Villager News video. And I was like, yo, I remember that. Then, cue to me being me and binge watching all of the other Villager News videos, subscribing to the channel, and me watching all the other videos on the channel and finding them funny. And back then, they were still making new videos of the crack, which is pretty cool.
It's all pretty cool and all, until it reveals your age and how old you are.
Dude, when I was like 7, maybe 8, I had watched those videos on YouTube that was just random clips of Invader Zim edited to a random song I liked. That probably tells people how old I am.
Bro, I miss those.
Nostalgia be like.
You're the youngest one here. You can't be talking.
I'm 17. I'm only 4 years younger than Flim here. Don't treat me like I didn't grow up on the same YouTube as you.
This is a great time to ask, but, we wrapping up the episode yet? I'm pretty sure we've made it to an hour now. Or at least close enough.
Yeah. This feels like a good place to leave off on. Us randomly talking about some old YouTube series that no one probably remembers anymore. See you guys. Happy 20th episode of the podcast.
Whoa, happy 20th episode.
Remember, podcasts are an illusion. The universe makes no sense. Watch the crack. Watch.